Daf Yomi, Tractate Menachot 63b. The last four words of the previous Amud are Amar Lo Rabbi Shimon. The Braita continues. Rabbi Shimon said to Rabbi Yehuda, and now we're on 63b at the top. V'chi nemar korban shnei pamim v'halo lo nemar ela korban echad v'nemar bo chalot urikikin. And it is stated with regard to a meal offering baked in an oven, offering, and again offering, for a total of 2 times. Once in connection to a meal offering of loaves, and once in connection to a meal offering of wafers. If that were the case, it would indicate that these are 2 types of offerings, but it doesn't. But doesn't it actually say offering only one time? And when you bring a meal offering baked in an oven, it shall be unleavened loaves of fine flour mixed with oil, or unleavened wafers spread with oil, Leviticus 2:4, this week's parsha. And it is stated with regard to this meal offering, both loaves and wafers, which indicates that these are 2 varieties of the same offering. Rabbi Shimon continues from now, it may be inferred that if one wants to bring 10 loaves, he may bring 10 loaves. And if he prefers to bring 10 wafers, he may bring 10 wafers. And if he decides that half of them should be loaves and half of them wafers, he may bring it in this manner. And if he brings part as loaves and part as wafers, how does he proceed? He mingles all of them and removes a handful of both of them. And if you remove the handful and it happened that only part of one type, either loaves or wafers, came up in his hand, for both of them he has fulfilled his obligation, as they are both part of a single offering. Rabbi Yossi Rabbi Chanina Omer, Binayin lo omer charei alai minchas ma'afeh, shelo yavi mechetz hachalos umechetz harikikin, tavid lomar, v'chol mincha asher te'afeh b'tanur, v'chol na'aseh b'me'acheshet ve'al machavat לכהן, המקריב אותה לא תהיה. בכל מנחה ולולו בשמן חרבה, והחרבה לכל בני אהרון תהיה. Rabbi Yossi Bar Chanina says, from where is it derived with regard to the one who says, it is incumbent upon me to bring a baked meal offering, that he may not bring half of the offering as loaves and half as wafers. He answers, the verse states, and every meal offering that is baked in an oven, and every one that is made in the deep pan and on the shallow pan, shall belong to the priest who sacrifices it. And every meal offering mixed with oil or dry shall belong to all the sons of Aaron, one as well as another. Leviticus 7:9 through 10. Ma v'chol ha'amol lemata shnei minin chalukin af v'chol ha'amol lemala shnei minin chalukin. The verses juxtapose the meal offering baked in an oven to the meal offering prepared in the pan, and the meal offering prepared in the deep pan. And similarly to the meal offering brought as a gift, alluded to by the phrase mixed with oil, and to the meal offering of a sinner, which is called dry. This teaches that just as the term "and every" Leviticus 7:10 stated below with regard to those meal offerings is referring to 2 types of meal offering, so too the term "and every" Leviticus 7:9 stated above with regard to the 2 forms of meal offering baked in an oven is referring to 2 different types of meal offering, and therefore one may not bring part as loaves and part as wafers. Rabbi Yehuda, Shabri Kam Rabbi Shimon, Amar Lach, Kevan Nichsiv V'Shemen Keman Nichsiv Korban Dami. The Gemara asks, and how does Rabbi Yehuda, who maintains that loaves and wafers are 2 different types of meal offerings baked in an oven, respond to Rabbi Shimon's proof? After all, Rabbi Shimon is saying well when he points out that the verse mentions offering only once. The Gemara explains, Rabbi Yehuda could have said to you, since it is written with oil, and with oil in the verse, it shall be unleavened loaves of fine flour mixed with oil, or unleavened wafers spread with oil, Leviticus 2:4. It is considered as though it is written offering and offering, and therefore these are deemed two different types of meal offering. Rabbi Shimon ilo kosi b'shemen b'shemen havabina davka mechetz chalos mechetz chakikin aval chalos lechot hayu urekikin lechot hayu emalo kamashmalan. The Gemara asks, and how does Rabbi Shimon respond to this claim? The Gemara answers, Rabbi Shimon maintains that the repetition of the term with oil teaches a different halacha. If it were not written with oil, and again with oil, I would say that a meal offering baked in an oven must be specifically brought half as loaves and half as wafers. And if you wanted to bring only loaves alone, or wafers alone, I would say that he may not bring a meal offering in this manner. The repetition of the term with oil teaches us that a meal offering baked in an oven can comprise 10 loaves or 10 wafers, or a combination of both types. Rabbi Yossi bar Yehuda hainu avu yikabinayu di'yavad. The Gemara further inquires. The Braita states that Rabbi Yossi, son of Rabbi Yehuda, holds that loaves and wafers are two different types of meal offerings. The opinion of Rabbi Yossi, son of Rabbi Yehuda, is the same as that of his father, Rabbi Yehuda, whose opinion is also mentioned in the Braita. Why is it necessary to cite Rabbi Yossi bar Rabbi Yehuda's opinion separately? The Gemara explains it is necessary to cite the opinion of Rabbi Yossi bar Rabbi Yehuda because there is a practical difference between his ruling and that of his father. As if someone transgressed and performed the sacrifice of a meal offering baked in an oven by bringing a mixture of loaves and wafers, according to Rabbi Yehuda, the offering is valid after the fact, whereas Rabbi Yossi bar Yehuda deems it not valid even b'diavad. Hadron alach kol menachos. We have completed the parak, the chapter of kol menachos. We shall return to you, Bezrat Hashem, and now we proceed to the next chapter, called Rabbi Yishmael. Okay? The Mishnah says, Rabbi Yishmael Omer Haya Ba B'Shabbat Mishlo Sin V'chol B'chamesh Rabbi Yishmael says when the day of the sacrifice of the Omer meal offering would occur on Shabbat, the labors performed that would otherwise be prohibited were kept to a minimum, and the 1/10 of an ephah of flour that was brought as an offering was processed from 3 se'ah of reaped barley, and if it occurred during the week, the flour was processed from 5 se'ah of reaped barley. And the rabbis say, both on Shabbat and during the week, the Omer offering would come from 3 se'ah of reaped barley. Ram Chanina's gan hakohanim Omer B'Shabbat haya niktzar b'yachid ובמעגל אחד ובקופה אחת ובכל בשלושה ושלוש קופות ושלוש מעגלות וחכמים אומרים אחד שבוס ואחד חול בשלוש קופות ושלוש מעגלות. Rabbi Chanina, the deputy high priest, says, on Shabbat the barley was reaped by an individual, and with one sickle and with one basket into which the barley was placed. And during the week, it was reaped by 3 people, with 3 baskets and 3 sickles. And the rabbis say both on Shabbat and during the week, it was reaped by 3 people, with 3 baskets and with 3 sickles. So the Talmud says, now we're seeing the Talmud Zok, then the Talmud, or brackets Mishalosh La'in Asevelo Shana Bechol Velosh Shabbos. The Gemara says Rabbi Yishmael, the rabbis disagree in the Mishnah with regard to how many se'ah of barley were reaped for the Omer meal offering on Shabbat. According to Rabbi Yishmael, 3 sa'ah were reaped when the offering was brought on Shabbat, and 5 sa'ah were reaped when the offering was brought during a weekday. The rabbis maintain that both during the week and on Shabbat, 3 sa'ah were reaped. The Gemara asks, granted, the opinion of the rabbis is clear, as they maintain that a select tenth of an ephah of flour comes from 3 sa'ah reaped barley, and therefore there is no difference whether the barley is reaped during the week or whether it is reaped on Shabbat, as a select tenth is required. El Rabbi Yishmael, Maika Sova, Ika Sova Sova Muvcha Lo Yasi, El Mechamesh, Afilu B'Shabbos Nami, Im Shalosh Yasi, Afilu B'Chol Nami. Rather, there is a question with regard to the opinion of Rabbi Yishmael, who differentiates between Shabbat and during the week. What does he hold? If he holds that a select tenth of an ephah of flour can come only from 5 sa'ah of reaped barley, then even on Shabbat 5 sa'ah should also be required. And if the select tenth of an ephah of flour can come from even 3 sa'ah, then even on a weekday 3 should suffice. Amar Rava Kasor Rabbi Shmuel Isaran Muvchar B'Lo Tircha Asi Mechamesh V'Tircha Asi Mishalosh V'Chol Meisinan Mechamesh Yehachi Shvicha Milsa V'Shabbat Mutav Sheyarbe B'Melacha Achas B'Har Kodo V'Al Yarbe B'Melacha Sarbe. Rava said Rabbi Yishmael holds that a select tenth of an ephah of flour can come without exertion from 5 sa'ah, and with exertion from 3. Therefore, on a weekday we reap and bring 4 from 5 sa'ah, and this produces a better and final product, since only the highest quality flour of each sa'ah is selected. On Shabbat, it is preferable that one should increase the effort involved in one prohibited labor, that of sifting the flour numerous times, and one should not increase the number of prohibited acts involved. It's better to do one act, but just do more of it than many different prohibited acts involved in performing many prohibited labors, such as reaping and winnowing, which are required for processing of 5 sa'ah. Amar Rabbi Yishmael Beno Shel Rabbi Yochanan ben Broka Amru Davarach Echad Titania Arba Asar Shechal Dios B'Shabbos Mavshit Et HaPesach Ad Hechazeh Divrei Rabbi Yishmael Beno Shel Rabbi Yochanan ben Broka Ad Shiafshi Zekulam. Rabbi said Rabbi Yishmael and Rabbi Yishmael, son of Rabbi Yochanan ben Broka, said the same thing. As it is taught in the Braita, if the 14th of Nisan occurs on Shabbat, when the Paschal offering is sacrificed but not roasted until Shabbat ends, one flays the Paschal offering up to the breast to enable removal of the parts of the animal that are sacrificed upon the altar on Shabbat, and flays the rest of the animal after Shabbat. Further skinning is only to facilitate eating the animal, and therefore it does not override Shabbat. This is the statement of Rabbi Yishmael, the son of Rabbi Yochanan ben Broka. And the rabbis say one has not performed the obligation properly unless he flays it in its entirety. Mi lo amar Rabbi Yishmael beno shel Rabbi Yochanan ben Broka hasam kol hecha de'efshar lo tarchinan hachanami given de'efshar lo tarchinan. The Gemara explains why the statements of Rabbi Yishmael and Rabbi Yishmael, son of Rabbi Yochanan ben Broka, are the same. Didn't Rabbi Yishmael, son of Rabbi Yochanan ben Broka, say that anywhere that is possible to perform the necessary task without an additional action, we do not exert ourselves on Shabbat? Here too, since it is possible to perform the necessary task without the extra filleting, we do not exert ourselves. Mimai Dilma Ad Kan Lo Ka'amar Rabbi Yishmael Hacha Ela Deleka Bizayon Kadashim Avahasam Dika Bizayon Kadashim. Okay, the Gemara rejects this comparison. From where is this conclusion reached? Perhaps Rabbi Yishmael states his ruling only here in the case of reaping 3 sa'ah on Shabbat, where there is no degradation of consecrated items. But there, where there is a degradation of consecrated items, as the animal will be left half filleted overnight, it will be different. Okay, to be continued, finished, 63b. Here in Athlete.